feel like a really big stereotype right now. So trading used camera equipment for different used camera equipment. Let's talk about it. Generally speaking, when dealing with larger transactions, I do prefer to trade with a company. It tends to be much less of a hassle. So the primary things that I traded were the LEICA Sl2s, the 50mm 1.4 Summilux SL, the 75mm f2 Summicron SL, and a Canon C500 Mark I. Those were the big items that I traded for to get what I received in return, which was a RED Helium 8K Super 35 with approximately 200 hours on it, a RED side handle so I could control the camera, a RED DSMC2 expander module, a wooden cableless gold mount battery plate, RED Pro 5-inch touchscreen monitor and LEMO adapter, PL mount, an 18mm RED Pro Prime cinema lens, 768 total gigs of RED mini mags, and the card reader, and a few other minor accessories here and there. In addition to getting about $2,000 on top of the deal, however, I did use some of that money to buy additional accessories that the camera requires, or are good to have per se. But I'm excited to use this camera. I think it's important to constantly push yourself as a creative and constantly learn more about cameras and the things you can do with them, to always be able to identify what's going to be the right camera for you and the right tool for the jobs, and helping you create the things you ultimately want to. And yeah, the thing with the LEICA Sl2s, I thought it was great in low light. The area I think it excelled the most for me was converting images to black and white. I do think it helped me produce some of the best black and white images I've ever taken. But that wasn't enough for me to justify keeping that camera, because I didn't really utilize it for what it was fully capable of doing, and I never touched any of the video features on the camera. So not utilizing the LEICA Sl2s for really what you can draw out of that camera is ultimately what led me down the path of deciding to trade it in. What I really liked about the LEICA Sl2s were the low light capabilities. I thought the images it was capable of generating were fantastic. So I already have a camera that's very capable in low light. It's from 2007. It only has really the base functionality that a camera can offer, and it doesn't really offer anything beyond that base functionality, which is the Canon EOS 1DS Mark III. It's a $500-ish camera on the used market. They're discontinued. You can only buy them used. But I do think that the image capability of that camera, assuming you have a fast lens on it and you're not exceeding like a 1600 ISO, outputs an image as good as a LEICA Sl2s, different, but in terms of qualitative standards, up there, right with it. I no longer saw a need for it, and I liked it a lot. I did not love that camera. But I do love the Type 601, so that's still on the list of cameras that I eventually want to pick up and just have in the arsenal. Which I may or may not do, I don't know. I'm trying not to do camera overkill. The other thing I'm really excited to see is if Nikon, given that they've acquired RED, implements the RED technology in the new cameras that Nikon will be pushing out in the coming months and years. I think that's very exciting, and I think that Nikon has the potential to make some of the best cinema cameras and the best hybrid cameras should they choose to incorporate some of this RED technology. And I have no reason to think that they wouldn't. To me, it would make no sense that they would acquire a company like RED and then not use some of that proprietary technology within their new cameras. But I think that'll come at a cost, and at least for the first run of cameras, they'll probably be upwards of, $8 or $9 grand, just because they'll be offering, I don't want to say R3D files, they'll probably create a new file type, but in terms of how R3D files work, I'm sure there will be something implemented within the Nikon systems that is very similar and operates in a very similar way. So yeah, let me know what you think. Did I make a good trade? What would you have traded for? Do you like RED? Do you hate RED? Would you have gone Canon C70, C80? I know the Sony FX3 is very popular, as is the FX6, but I already have a ZVE1 which uses the same sensor as the Sony FX3, and that was kind of my mental ruling for ruling out the FX3. And I really like the Canon C80 and C70, but I don't like the form factors of them or the ergonomics. I just found that RED had better ergonomics once you set up the camera. So yeah, let me know what you think. And let me know what you would have traded for if you had approximately $7,000 in trade value. And that about sums it up. You know, other things just to mention, when you are trading for used equipment, and regardless of how much it costs, you know, protect yourself. Film yourself unboxing the equipment, so should anything be wrong with it, you have that well documented. If you have to send it back or exchange it, that's always something that is a possibility when opting into used camera equipment. So beyond that, yeah, I don't have anything beyond that. Stay creative, stay pushing yourself, stay innovating, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Renton Vlogs, aka TheSuperMediocre. Hope you have an awesome week. Peace.